So I am going to pass out to you this first paper that says evidence on it. So here you go. Please look at the side that says evidence, to use or not to use. Your assignment, let's see, when was it? Last week, your assignment was to come up with 2 claims. So I have went through those of you who uploaded your 2 claims like you were supposed to in Canvas. Sorry, I swallowed my spit, buddy. Your 2 claims in Canvas, I commented on them. You do not need to look at them right now, but when we're done here, I'm done going through everything, you're gonna look at those comments and you're going to look and see, what did I say? Some of you, I rewrote your claim to be more specific. A lot of you were not specific enough on your claim. Your claim was an opinion that could not be backed by research. So I rewrote things for you so you had an idea. I gave you some tips. So go back into Language Arts where you uploaded your claim and look at those comments. Okay. Then you have to, did you guys do a list in the left-hand column, write down what kind of research you were going to do, right? So I had you guys split your paper in half and you put 1 claim on each side and then you wrote down what sort of things would you research for that claim. Because you need to have guidance for your research. You're not writing things like, where were they born? Or simple things like that. You're looking for things that are going to be really good for your argument, okay? We're going to do one together as a class that I'm going to use as an example for everything so you can see what to do. So I have chosen animal testing as my topic, okay? So the topic I am using is, should we use animals for animal testing? That's the question. My opinion is no, we should not use animals for testing pharmaceuticals and cosmetics and things. So my claim is animal testing should be outlawed. My claim, the claim we're using as a class, animal testing should be outlawed, okay? So I'm going to go back to that topic as we go through this. So on the front of your paper, it says evidence. Everybody see the front of your paper. Feel free to take notes as we go through these things, because you'll be expected to know these things. Once you have taken the notes, I would use your iPad. Remember how we started a writing folder in our Google Drive? Once we are done with all of this, I would take a picture of it and upload it into that writing folder, because it might help you next year or in 8th grade. So different types of evidence that you are going to want for your essay. You're writing an argumentative essay, right? That's what we're working towards. This is different types of evidence you want to look for. You want to research and find facts, statements that can be proven true, statistics, numbers. Those are fact, right? Not opinion, fact. So statistics, measurements, numbers, data, quotations, exact words from documents or interviews that are credible. And we're going to talk about what makes it credible. Expert opinions, expert opinions. Not the opinion of someone random that you find online. The expert, okay? So we're doing animal testing. Experts are going to be scientists, biologists, researchers. It's not going to be Joe Schmo who lives down the road who just has an opinion, right? That's not an expert. You want an expert. Examples. So give me an example. Specific instances, illustrations of a general idea. Commonly accepted beliefs and antidotes. Personal examples are stories that illustrate a point. You can use personal antidotes, but you have to be very careful if it's a personal antidote of someone that it's serving a purpose, not, again, just somebody random. If I were you, I would stay away from that. So I'm going to ask for you to put an X through where it says antidotes. Put an X through that. It's ANECDOTES, that word, because we don't want personal things. When we write,
the whole thing.
yes, when we write essays, we're not going to say we're not going to say opinions. Okay, these are facts. Okay, so these are the types of evidence we're going to be looking for in our research. Does that make sense? Yes? Okay. So at the bottom, I've given you some places to look that will be helpful when you're doing your research to make sure it is credible. Credible means you can trust it and it's not influenced by anything. It's factual. It's a credible source. So if it ends in .gov or .mil, that means it's a government or a military website. That's a good thing, right? Those things are usually factual. If it ends in edu, that's a university, a college, which means somebody researched it. It's an expert, right? Someone who studies that topic. That's good. If it is .com, you have to be kind of skeptical, and this is where you have to kind of look at it more. If it says .com.co, it is not going to probably be a reputable website. So stay away from those for sure. If it ends in just .com, I have some tips for you to figure out if it is credible or not, because that's like a company, a corporation. .org is a special interest group. So it's going to be like PETA is a group that's about protecting pets. So they're very biased. They're very anti-animal testing. So I'm going to be able to find good information from them, but I have to make sure I'm not finding opinion information, but factual information. If you go to scholar.google.com, instead of just using Google, if you type scholar.google.com, that's going to give you research-based articles. So you know that almost anything you find on that website is credible. So I would use that website. I wouldn't just use just Google, maybe later, but first starting, I would use that scholar.google.com. USA.gov and data.gov has a lot of statistics if you're doing something that has to do with the government or the United States in some sort of way. Procon.org is a really good website. You can click or type in certain issues and it'll give you pros and cons. Then from there you can start researching. So if you need that to help you organize your ideas, then that's a good place to go. Allsites.com is more political, but it gives you articles from the left side, the right side, and the middle of an argument. So that's a good one to use as well. So these are some resources for you to use to find good, credible information. Any questions yet? Okay, so flip it over, and I have a bullet point list of lots of stuff. This says, ask yourself, is it credible, right? These are the sorts of questions you need to ask yourself to make sure you are using something that is credible, that isn't just a fake news or fake website. Does the headline or title sound realistic? If I'm doing animal testing and the headline or the title says something like, bunnies hop away and Bugs Bunny comes to save the day, it's not very realistic, right? Bugs Bunny is
like a
fake. Yeah, and Bugs Bunny's not even real. So that's not going to make sense. Check the entire URL. The URL is the web address that's at the very top. Make sure if it's a simple web address. If it's something really complex with words spelled funny, it's probably not going to be very credible. Check the author's credentials. We're going to talk about this. Skip anonymous reports and articles. So who's the author? There should be an author. Make sure the headline and picture matches the content. If you have if you get onto a website and it has tons of pop-ups, it's probably not the most secure or the most credible website. You might want to find something else. Consult and compare competing sources. If you find a fact check the stories. That's what the second thing says, fact check. Go through and fact check. If you find the same data 2 or 3 times, that data is probably true. Or if you find the same facts 2 or 3 times, it's probably true because you found it in multiple places. Dig deeper. Dig deeper. Hey, you found it somewhere? Maybe you can find something similar or the opposite side. Don't just go with the first website that pops up. That's always everyone's biggest mistake. Everyone just types something in and goes with the first website, right? Sound familiar? Don't do that. Dig deeper. Beware of online filter bubbles that show you only items similar to ones that you've already looked at. How many of you guys are like, oh my gosh, the internet and Google is stalking me? I just read an article about a lady that works at Google and how much information they gather on you from your searches. And then when they give you results, they're going to give you results based off your past searches. Okay, people are like, I swear Facebook is listening to me because I get on Facebook and I have ads that pop up about stuff that my friend and I were talking about. And people joke about it, but it's kind of true. They are monitoring your activity and they are going to give you research results based on that. So don't just say pro animal testing or con, right? I'm going to look for stuff that's for and against so that my filter bubble is a broader range.
Both sides.
Yes, well, and your argument of essay has to have both sides, which we're going to get to. Has it been written recently in the last 5 to 7 years? If you find an article that was written 20 years ago, it's probably outdated. I would not use it, okay? If Mr. Jones says it, it's not true. No, I'm just kidding, right? But like, seriously, things have changed a lot in the last 5 to 7 years. Why was the web page created? So think about that. Is it biased? If it is, you can still possibly use it, but you just have to know that it's biased. So why was that web page created? And then stay away from personal websites and pages. Anybody can create a website, right? So if I create just some random website about animal testing, I'm not a credible source. I'm just a person, right? So does this make sense? Everybody with me so far on this? Mm-hmm. Okay, so what I would like for you to do is take a picture of the front and the back of this and put it in that writing folder in your Google Drive that I told you to create. If you haven't created the folder yet, you can do it really quickly or do it later. I'm going to pass something else out to you, and we're going to go through these steps kind of together, okay, as a practice. So this form says website on it. One side is blank, the other side has writing on it. It's got my handwriting on the other side, to be honest, because I'm using that as an example for you. So as an example, you should have this sheet that says website. One side has my writing, the other side is blank. I have lots of these blank ones for you to use once we get there, all right? So, oh, I forgot what her code was. She's gonna lock me. Oh, well. Okay, so what we are going to do is take a look at the first side that I have written on. Take a look at the side I wrote on. Thank you. Take a look at the side I wrote on. So what I did was I went to Google Scholar. You should not be on your iPads. There's nothing to do on your iPads right now. You're looking at the paper that I wrote on. I went to Google Scholar and I found this article. I clicked on it and it took me to this website. Because it's on Google Scholar, I know it's a credible source. So the website was alltech.org. It was actually alltech.org.156GK, all of that stuff. You don't need all that, right? And we'll go over that. Then I put the title of the article. I put who wrote it. I put what date it was written, because that's important, right? And then I wrote what type of evidence it is. I got the type of evidence from this paper. I gave you this paper where it has all the different types of evidence up here. So I want you to write down. So the first thing is an expert opinion from the research. The topic is why. It's con, why. Why is it bad? And then I used a quote. Animal testing impacts the economy. That is what influences it to still happen. Then I found a statistic in the same article. Pharmaceuticals used 6,090,000 animals for testing in 2005. I found some more data. About 50% of animal testing occurs in pharmaceuticals. This is all the research I found from this article. I'm going to give you blank copies of this so that you can use a different one for each article, right? Because I have the name of that article. If you need a different one for every article that you use, or every different source that you use. So we are going to practice this on the blank page. So flip it over to where it says website, title of article, this page. Flip it over, we're gonna practice this. Okay, so I am researching, right? I am researching and my topic is animal testing. And I am saying that it's bad. So why? What sort of things do I need to research? Well, I want to research who uses it. Who uses animal testing? On here I found out pharmaceuticals, cosmetics, beauty things, they all use animal testing. Not all of them, but a lot of them, right? So who uses it? I want to know what companies use it. I want to know the laws that exist. Are any laws exist? Or can anybody do animal testing, right? I'm going to research some laws that exist. Why?
It's cut off at the top.
It doesn't matter. You can still read what it says. Subject animal testing. Comes. Right? Why use it? Why use animal testing? So before you begin doing any research, you need to put down your claim and then make a list of things that you want to find out about your topic. Can I change some of these things about my topic? Mm-hmm. Yes, I can, right? Or I can add to it as I do more research. But I need a starting point. You need at least 3 to 6 different things to start researching as a starting point. Does that make sense? Okay, so we're going to do this together. So, I am going to go to laws that exist. I'm going to start kind of with that and see what I can find. So I'm going to pull it up on my computer. So I'm going to be back here, but you guys can hopefully still see up there what it is I'm doing. All right, so I'm in Google. Do I want to necessarily use Google? No, I want to use Google Scholar. So I'm going to type in scholar.google, right? Nope, just kidding. Oops. I can't see what I'm typing up there. So I'm going to just type in Google Scholar, and then right here is Google Scholar. I'm going to click on it. So now I'm in Google Scholar. So I know anything I use is going to be a good website. So what did I say that we were going to talk about? Laws on animal testing. So I'm going to type in laws. Look at all of these things. Laws about animal testing. Oh, look, I found something right there. Oh my gosh, look at all of these. Like, am I just going to start clicking on them?
No.
All right, I'm going to read and see, what does it say? What does it say on some of these articles for me to find a good one? So as I look, it says chimpanzees in research and testing worldwide. Well, that's interesting. The laws of the member states relating to cosmetic. Well, maybe I want to see when that one looks like it was 2003. The one above it's 2007. The one above that, 2012. Overview of animal cruelty laws. That sounds like it's going to give me all the information I want. So I am going to click on that article. All right. So now that I've clicked on this article, I can start filling out my sheet. Right? So my website is right here, onlinelibrary.wiley.com. That's the website, so go ahead and fill that in. onlinelibrary.wiley.com. What is the title of my article? Title of my article is right here, isn't it? All right. So I'm going to write down.
It says .com.
It's fine. It can be a .com. I never said it couldn't be. I said it can't be a .co, .com.co. .com, you just have to double check it to make sure that it's reputable because it's a company website. So my title is Overview of Animal Cruelty Laws. My author is right here, Stacy Wolf. Sometimes the author is all the way at the bottom and you have to scroll all the way down to the bottom. And same thing, sometimes the published date is all the way at the bottom. This one is right here. It was published December 17th, 2012. So I have the first 3 filled out with all that information that's important when I start citing my evidence. Make sure you have all 3 of these boxes filled out. Make sure you write them down. Right? I have my title of my article. I have the author and the date. So once you have all that information filled out, now is when you start pulling information from the text that you want to possibly use in your research. How many things do you write in each information box? How many facts? Anybody know?
7.
1.
Oh.
If it says type of evidence, topic, information, I'm writing 1 fact. 1 fact. Because what if I only want to use one of these facts and not all of them? That's why there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blanks. Right? So that you can find 5 different, you have the possibility of finding 5 different facts. So I'm going to read this article and I am going to see where I find some laws or information, and then I'm going to fill out those details. So, advances in veterinary scientific knowledge prompted revision of state euthanasia laws to ban antique and inhuman methods of euthanasia, particularly for shelter animals. So I am going to make my way back here so I can scroll down. I'm going to scroll down. This is about euthanasia, which is putting animals to sleep, right? Many animal cruelty cases still hinge on good old-fashioned police work and do not require complex medical testing. Ariana, can you sit down because you're right in the middle of the video? Many animal cruelty cases still hinge on good old-fashioned police work and do not require complex. So do laws exist? They do, right? But it's up to people to investigate that. So as one of my things, I'm going to put, as one of my things, where it says type of evidence, type of evidence, I'm going to put expert opinion. And then I am going to say the topic is laws, right? And then in my information, I'm going to say police must investigate animal cruelty. So I am going to put, right, type of evidence is what? What did I say it was? Expert opinion, right? So it's an expert. My topic is laws. Then on this side, I'm going to say police must investigate animal cruelty, right? Did I spell cruelty right? All right. Police must investigate animal cruelty. So then I would, if there's nothing else in this article, I get a new paper and I find a new article to take notes about for my paper. So you guys are going to do research today and tomorrow. So what class time you have left today, which isn't a lot, you're gonna start your research of your claim or go into Canvas and find the feedback I gave you. And then tomorrow for e-learning, you are going to have language arts e-learning. Your language arts e-learning is going to be starting your research. You are not gonna have time to wait and do all your research at school. You don't have time for that. You could also use this method for your Genius Hour where you're having to do a person, right? There's a reason I'm doing them together. So you can apply what we're practicing here to how to research for Genius Hour. So, any questions?